Hey everyone, Dennis from Southwest Tech Solutions here. Today I wanted to do up a short video on how you can run AI large language models at home on your own computer, given that you have a somewhat capable video card. In this example, we'll be using my personal PC, which is has 32 gigs of RAM, has an NVIDIA 3070 in it, and has a AMD Ryzen. Oh, I forget exactly what's in it now, to be honest. But it's enough to run a fair bit of the popular AI models, like DeepSeek, Llama, Phi, uh, any number of the smaller ones. I wouldn't want to run one of the billions and billions of uh, data point models, but we can definitely show you how we can run some of the smaller ones. And of course, DeepSeek being the all the rage at this point, that's probably the one we'll give you a quick look at. So first, we're doing this on Windows, so you will need to go to ollama.com, as you can see here, and we will have to download the version for Windows. And it requires Windows 10 or later, so anything earlier than that, it's not going to work. So we won't. We don't actually have to click on it. We already have it installed. So you'll go through the process. You'll install the ollama software, and you'll just do next, next, next kind of thing on the installer, and you'll be fine. Once you're all done, the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a little ollama icon here, and you'll be able to, from there, should there be updates, it'll allow you to restart, quit, that kind of thing. So from there, we need to find a model that we want to run. So we can click on the models link up here. And the first one right here we see is deepseek-r1. So we'll click on that, and here we can get the different options for DeepSeek. So we have a 1.5 billion model, we have a 7 billion, 8 billion, and so forth. So we're going to run one of the smaller ones, of course, because we don't really have the power to run the large ones. So you can, from here, you can select which model you want to run, and it will give you the command. So you can copy the command, and then all we need to do is open up a terminal in Windows. So on Windows 11 here, we're running, it just defaults to a PowerShell terminal when you, go in here and type in terminal. You can open a command prompt, I guess, but we're going to use the PowerShell terminal. And then from there, we can just paste in the command and hit enter. And you can see that ollama is going to start itself up. And it takes sometimes a few seconds or a minute or two. Now what will happen is if you haven't installed the model, what it will do is it will reach out to ollama servers and grab the model and download files. So if you do select a large model, they can, be in the gigabytes size range. So you want to, allow for time for that to download. But since we already have this one installed, we just run that command, and that initiates the command prompt for the DeepSeek model. So here we can type in something like "Hello DeepSeek, how are you?" Now with DeepSeek, you're going to see it's going to give you this think thing, and DeepSeek loves to think about what it's doing, and it will actually kind of like when you're in high school and the teacher asks you to show your work in math class. That's what it's doing. So it just gives you a standard response. And this is a general large language model. So maybe we can type in something like, "Can you explain to me what a 486 CPU PU is?" And here we see that it's going through its thinking process, which is pretty neat, actually. So it helps you kind of define, or helps you understand what the AI model is doing. So, the user asked about, it says the user asked about a 486 CPU. Looking back at our conversation history, they greeted me warmly, so they're probably looking for straightforward and friendly explanations. Um, there's a whole subsection of AI that's simply like prompt engineering, so we won't worry too much about that at this point. But you can take whatever prompts you want, and the prompts are basically what you're typing in. Um, and you'll see that, after it's done its thinking, it's going through and it says, sure, a 486 CPU refers to the Intel 46DX microprocessor, which was introduced by Intel in 1987. It was a significant advancement in personal computing in the early 1990s. You can do things like you can get DeepSeek to write you a blog article. And you please write me a blog article about the 486DX CPU. Okay. And it's going to go through its thinking process again. Once you see the slash think here, now you're going to get the blog article. And so this is a way that you can use it to write content. You can use it to even rewrite content. Quite often what I'll do for it myself is I'll be working on a website, or I'll be designing something, and I'll come up with like a little promotional blurb for a particular type of product or something, and then I'll come into some sort of AI, whether it be Google Gemini Online or something like DeepSeek, and I'll just say, hey, can you rewrite this in a more positive tone, or rewrite this in a more explanative, however you want to say that, to explain it better kind of thing, or to explain it to someone who may not be an expert in a certain field kind of thing. So there's many, many things you can do. There's commands that you can also use. So you can do show info, and here it will tell you a bit about some of the models, information, context length, parameters. So there's 7.6 billion parameters in this model. And what we can do also is we can save. So for example, if you're working on something and you want to keep the conversation ongoing, you can do save, and we'll call it YouTube test. So it creates a new model. I don't know if I don't really think it's an entirely new model per se, but I think it just kind of saves your conversation. And then if you want to load that the next time you go into, say we do /by, we leave DeepSeek, go back into it, and we do load YouTube test. Now that we have the model loaded, we can continue the conversation. And you can also do clear. You can clear the session context, so that way, it kind of starts from scratch sort of thing. And of course, there's variables. Set parameters. You can set history, no history, word wrap, format, no format. There's tons of things that you can do. Say you were interested in writing some Python code for something, or I don't know, let's say a Python function to, I don't know, can you create a Python function to get an RSS feed? Now, this may not be I haven't provided what RSS feed, but here you will see, like, it goes through its reasoning, explains what it's doing, and then will oftentimes give you additional information as to what you can do to improve it, things that you can modify. This is actually a fairly long one that we're going through here. And it's giving a lot of information here. So in this case, it would kind of take a while to go back and look at what. Oh, actually, that, and there we go. That was just the think part. So we're way ahead of. So it's going through a very long thinking process, and we get here a much shorter answer. So which is really cool though, because you can go back and look through different things that the model kind of went through and deduced to get to where its answer was. So you can actually go back and see if it made any mistakes, or if it, if there's something that can be adjusted. Now in this case, we didn't give it any specific RSS feed, so um, we don't really have, like, we don't know what the titles and all the different all the different fields are in the RSS feed per se, but it'll also give you a step-by-step explanation. And in this case, it uses a module feed parser. There's other, I've used something like Simple XML. Anyways, this isn't really a coding video, I guess. I just wanted to kind of show you what you can do with local language models on your, or excuse me, large language models on your computer. There are many models that you can use. So, for example, there's deepseek-r1, there's deepseek-coder, which is which specializes in coding. So there's so many different LLMs that you can use that are either trained on different things or are kind of subject matter experts in different areas. So and you have all the Facebook llama, so there you go. You have tons of different things. Anyways, hopefully that will help you get to where you want to go if you want to run some of this on your local machine. Again, the more GPU processing, the better video card or cards that you have, the larger the models that you're going to be able to run, and the quicker you're going to be able to run them. I've run some very large ones, and it is painfully slow, so sometimes you want to kind of take the time to figure out which one gives you the answers in the time frame that you want, but also when it, but I guess you have to look for the accuracy, because that's one thing you need to kind of keep in mind with this as well. Not all these language models are super accurate all the time, so you may want to check your work, and especially if you're providing information to third parties, or if you're trying to, say, writing a report or writing a documentation for something, you want to verify that your information is correct. You'll also notice that in the coding part of it, oftentimes it will spit out code that doesn't actually work, because it does make some assumptions or makes plain errors at times too. So sometimes you need to work and say, hey, the code you generated partially works. I'm getting an error XYZ, and go back to it, and it will actually try to fix itself. So there's a lot of back and forth. It's not perfect yet, and I personally don't think this is going to replace programmers yet. And I don't think it's going to replace programmers at all, but I think it's going to play a much more crucial role. And I think the role of programmers is going to be possibly blended with that of an artist, almost, in the sense that people are going to have to be more creative when it comes to generating the prompts and instructing the LLMs on how to get the code that they need to get it done. So maybe it's going to be, when we talk about things like state of the art, well, maybe it is going to be more of an art than a, technical kind of thing. But we'll see how that goes. It's all open-ended, and, there's a long ways to go yet. So anyways, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please feel free to subscribe as well. I plan on creating more videos like this and on other tech topics as we go along. Thank you. Bye.